For today's lesson, we're going to continue with our same learning target. I can find the volume of composite figures. But remember, we've been working with composite figures where we can see the cubic units. But today, we're going to move into composite figures that look like this. But we want to continue to use our same strategy. Where can we decompose into two or more right rectangular prisms? So when I look at these composite figures, so kind of looks pretty similar to this composite figure, where we saw one on the left, one on the right, or one on the top and one on the bottom. Okay, so let me see if I can use one of those strategies here. So when I look at this one, I do see a smaller one on the left and a larger one on the right. So let me take my mathematical lightsaber and see if I can go ahead and decompose into two right rectangular prisms. Okay, so now we have to go ahead and see if we can go ahead and label those dimensions there. So when I look at this one, so I see the dimension that goes across, so I've spotted the length. So top to bottom, I've spotted the height. And then front to back, so I've spotted the width. So we've got length, width, and height. All right, so then when I look at the larger one, the right-hand side, so I see the distance, so across. So looking at that one on the right, length. Front to back, I see the width. And then the height over here, top down, is 5 meters. So I've found the length, width, and height of each. So let's go ahead and find the volume using our formula. Volume equals length times width times height. So looking at the smaller one on the left-hand side there, so I see 4 meters by 2 meters by 3 meters. Four times 2 equals 8, times 3 equals 24 cubic meters. Okay, so now when I look at the larger one there, so let's use our same formula. Volume equals length times width times height. So I see 4 meters by 4 meters by 5 meters. So volume equals, I'm going to do 4 times 5 first, which is 20, times 4 equals 80 cubic meters. And I can't forget to add them together. So 24 cubic meters plus 80 cubic meters gives me a total volume of 104 cubic meters. Okay, so that one I decomposed where we saw a smaller one on the left, a larger one on the right. But remember, we could also see if we have one on the top, one on the bottom. So when I look at this, I'm going to take my mathematical lightsaber and cut like such, decompose, and I see a smaller one on the top and a larger one on the bottom. Okay, so let me just look at the smaller one on top. So I see a length here of 4 meters. So a width of here of 4 meters. Now I gotta be careful, the height of just from here to here. So look at this edge, is now but I spotted this edge. So that edge tells me the height of the smaller one on top, which is the 2 meters. Okay, so then looking at the one in the bottom here, so I see a length here of 6 meters. So now width here, front to back, of 4 meters. Now I gotta be careful, the height where I decomposed is not 5 meters, because that's the height of the whole thing. So it's not labeled here, I don't see the edge. Ooh, I spotted this edge would give me the height actually of the one on the bottom, which is 3 meters. Okay, so let's go ahead. So I'm gonna look at the smaller one on top first of all. So volume equals length times width times height. So the smaller one on top, so 4 meters by 4 meters by 2 meters. So 4 times, I'm gonna do 4 times 2 first of all, equals 8 times 4 equals 32 cubic meters. Okay, so that was the one on the top, the smaller one. So now I'm going to do the one on the bottom. So it's just 6 meters by 4 meters by 3 meters. So volume equals length times width times height. So 6 meters by 4 meters by 3 meters. Okay, so for this one, let's see, I'm going to do 4 times 3 equals 12 first of all. Times 6 equals 72 cubic meters. Okay, so I can't forget to go ahead and add them together to find the total volume, 32 cubic meters plus 72 cubic meters gives me a total of 104 cubic meters. Okay, so I got the same answer, even though I decomposed differently. One on the left, one on the right, one on the top, one on the bottom. So I got the same answer. So I want to be flexible, showing both strategies today, and it helps us check. Okay, so let's take a look at the one you're going to do right now, which is this one right here. Okay, so just like what we did with the previous lesson, so you're going to try one strategy. So I want you to pause the video, and then you're going to go ahead and check your work here. Okay, so it's the same figure. So the first strategy, so think about how you're going to go ahead and decompose it, where you see one on the left, one on the right. So think about that right now. Okay, so hopefully you thought about how you could go ahead and decompose it like such. Okay, so pause the video right now, and then you're going to come back and check your work. All right, so go ahead and give it a try. All right, so we're back here. Let's go ahead and check to see how we did now. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure we found the correct dimensions. So let's see. So I see the one on the left here. So I see the distance across is actually labeled right here. So I'm going to label that as the length. I've got the edge front to back, so the 2 centimeters equals the width. And then we've got the height over here, which is the 5 centimeters. So we got all our dimensions for the one on the left. All right, so let's look at the one on the right here. Now be careful, so that 11 centimeters was the whole length, okay, but we decomposed it here. So actually this edge right here, the 8 centimeters is our length. So now we do see the width, here's 2 centimeters. And then our height is just from here to here, which is 1 centimeter. Okay, so we've got all our dimensions. Okay, so let's check to make sure that we found the volume. So let's look at the one on the left. So 3 centimeters by 2 centimeters by 5 centimeters. So volume equals length times width times height. So volume equals 3 centimeters by 2 centimeters by 5 centimeters. So 3 times 2 is 6 times 5 equals 30 cubic centimeters. Okay, look at the one on the right there. So we've got 8 centimeters by 2 centimeters by 1 centimeter. So volume equals length times width times height. Volume equals 8 centimeters times 2 centimeters times 1 centimeter. So volume equals 8 times 2 is 16 times 1 is 16 cubic centimeters. Don't forget to find the total, so we have to add them together. So 30 cubic centimeters plus 16 cubic centimeters equals 46 cubic centimeters. Okay. So if you had trouble with that, you can always rewind the video, go back and give it a try again. That's the good thing. You can go ahead and go back and give it a try before we move on. Because now the other way we're going to do it, remember, we can find, is there one on the top, one on the bottom? I spotted something. All right, so think right now, how would you go ahead and decompose that? Okay, so hopefully you spotted right here. All right, so there we go. So we spotted a smaller one on top, larger one on the bottom. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and pause it right now to give it a try. Find the volume of that smaller one on the top, find the one of the larger one on the bottom, then add together. So go ahead and pause it now. All right, so let's go ahead and check. So let's see how you did here. Okay, so let's look at that one on the top. So I see the distance across here, this edge, 3 centimeters, front to back. So there's the width of 2 centimeters. Now, be careful, the height, so it's just here where we decompose it. So it's not that 5 centimeters. So it's this edge, but ooh, so I spot it right here. This edge is actually our height, 4 centimeters. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at the large one on the bottom. So in this case, yes, so this is our length right here, our 11 centimeters. Okay, so the width right here, 2 centimeters. So, and then the height of that one on the bottom would just be this right here, this 1 centimeter. So there's our height. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how we did finding the volume there. So let's look at the smaller one on top. Okay, so volume equals length times width times height. Volume equals, so we've got 3 centimeters by 2 centimeters by 4 centimeters. So 3 times 2 equals 6, times 4 equals 24 cubic centimeters. All right, so now let's look at that larger one on the bottom there. So 11 centimeters by 2 centimeters by 1 centimeter. So 11 times 2 equals 22, times 1 equals 22 cubic centimeters. Don't forget to find the total volume by adding together 24 cubic centimeters plus 22 cubic centimeters gives us a total of 46 cubic centimeters. Okay, so we got the same volume decomposing both ways. So I'm confident in my answer. Okay, so once again, you can always, if you had trouble decomposing or find the volume or labeling those dimensions, you can always rewind and give it a try and check again before you do your ticket to work. But for your ticket to work, I want you to think about both ways, because if we do it both ways and we get the same answer, we know we're good to go. Okay, so remember, we're looking for one that's on the left, one on the right to do it one way, and then one on the top and one on the bottom. But be careful with labeling your dimensions. All right, so for your ticket to work, go ahead and give it a try.